Hey everybody, this is a Herminator here coming at you now. In the next unit or whatever, it's going to take a while to get through it. I'll be honest with you. Okay, we'll get it. We'll just grind her out. And one thing you're going to need to know is how to solve a story problem where you yourself have to kind of formulate it without all the little beginning steps. Now, the most I will do for you is underline the 2 units. Okay, money and months. And my camera's terrible at picking up words, so this is the same one. It says, a gym charges a $30 membership fee along with $33 per month. How much should a person have to pay for 10 months? So the first thing I'm going to do, since there are 2 units here, we're going to make 3 of these little boxes, okay? Just put them where I put them. Give you a chance to get that down. It will be very helpful if you do that. My units are dollars and months, so I put dollars and months. Now, you need to tell which one should be X and which one should be Y. Here is how you tell. If you have a money amount, if you have a money, it's Y, okay? Money is always going to be Y. And then if I have any kind of time, like months, hours, minutes, seconds, years, days, that's going to be the X, okay? Now after that's done, we're going to write the word per PER. And the dollars, the Y, whatever the Y is, money, we put that on top. Whatever the X is, the months, we put that on bottom. Just put month, you don't need an S on it. So what I need to do is figure out what's the amount of money that takes place every month. Now, it would be $33 because after that it says per month. So I'm going to put a $33. Okay, that's all I have to do there. Now, since it's the same amount of money every month, we make a straight line kind of like that. And here's what you need to put on this line every single problem, okay? You need to put a plus right there, okay? That's what a line does. It repeatedly adds a number to a problem. You need to put a Y down here at the bottom, and you will be replacing that. You'll be putting an X right here in the middle, and then a Y here. It's a plus, and then YXY. Now, that $33, now since X is months and it's taking $33 every month, we need to put that 33 in front of the X so that it multiplies the X, okay? Because X is months, it's $33 every month. I don't know how many times I'm paying $33, but it's every month. Now, the other thing we need to do is replace this first Y with the beginning money before the 33, and that was 30. Okay, and that's all we need to do there. Now, what we want to do is write an equation. Equals. You're going to write 30 plus 30 at 3x. Now, on the other side, we're going to put y, okay, because that's where the money ends up. Y is money. I don't know where it ends up quite. Now, that's set up. Now cross out 30 and 33 from the problem. That gives me one number remaining, which is 10. Okay? So I'm going to put 10. It is 10 months. So that either needs to go here for the X or here for the Y. Now it's 10 months. Okay? Remember, months. 10 months. Well, months is X, so therefore it should go in for the X. Now go find your X. There's a number attached to the front. So what we do is put a parentheses, and we're just going to put 10 over that X right there. That's all you got to do. And what's the letter that we have remaining? Okay? What's the letter that we have remaining? It's Y. So let's go look at the side of the equation Y is on. Well, it's single. It's isolated. There's nothing with the Y. Okay? So, I'm going to put ISO, stands for isolated. When that letter that we have left is isolated, I can get my answer just on my calculator. I just plug this expression here into the calculator, and that's going to tell me what the y equals. Okay? So I'm going to get a calculator, kind of like you're used to. So I've got 30 plus 33 parentheses 10. Remember, I'm going to take the x out and put 10 in, just like that. And that's 360, so that's my answer to the problem. I drop my equals. This whole side is 360, and this is y, okay? So put 360 right there. $360. Okay, problem solved. Now, you will get better at this the more you practice it. It says here, at a racetrack, racers pay a $50 membership amount along with $15 per race. How many races would a person have participated in if they paid a total of $170? Okay. There are 2 units. So if there's 2 units that relate to one another, and I'm finding just one for an answer, we need to find what these are. So I've got money is underlined and races is underlined. So those are my 2 significant units in the problem, the only ones I have. Remember, money is always Y. The other unit is going to be X then. So per. Put the Y label on top and the X label on the bottom. You have to do it that way. Otherwise it's wrong. Okay? Dollars. I got to find a dollar amount that happens every race. Well, it'd be $15, so I put 15. Okay? Then I make this line. Again, we put a plus right there. I got to remember that when I start, whatever I start with, I'm just adding to it repeatedly. So I put a Y, which I will replace, an X, and a Y. So the X multiplier would be 15 because X is races and we're paying $15 every race, so 15X. And then before the $15 per race, we had $50. Okay, so we need to get that Y out of there and put 50. This other Y can stay. That's fine. I'll deal with that later. But the thing I need to do is I need to put a multiplying number on the X and also a beginning number, beginning amount of Y units. Okay, so I have 50 plus 15X, and then I come over here and I put Y. Y should be right here. Okay, so I cross those 2 numbers out, the 50 and the 15. They have served their purpose. I no longer want them there. So that leaves me with $170. Now, it's dollars. Dollars is Y, so that goes, I'm going to put a slash Y. So that means we put 170 here for the Y. Now, Y does not have a number in front of it, so I don't use a parentheses. I'm going to scribble that out and put 170. Okay, now the last problem is very easy, but this one you got to do something different because see the X, the letter I have left, there's a 15 in front of it. So I dot it and circle it. And now I try to get that X by itself, okay? Because on the problem before, the letter, I put the number in for X and that left me with Y. Well, Y was by itself, so I just plug what's on the other side into the calculator, but it ain't going to be just like that this time. So I circle 15X, 15.X. Outside we have a 50, that's got to go. It's positive, so you have to subtract it. Then I drop my equal straight down, and I have 15.X. And then 170 minus 50 is 120. Okay, now we divide. So 120 divided by 15 is going to be 8, I believe. So I got 8. Okay, and that's my answer, 8 races. Okay, an electronics game store sells used games for $12.99 each, and there's a $20 membership fee. Find the cost of 6 video games. Now, I did not write this problem the best. It's a little bit confusing, but that's a good thing we're going to be doing it together on this video. So my units are games and dollars. Remember, the money has to be the Y, okay? and the other unit's the x, because all these problems contain money. So per, so we need to put the y, the dollars on top, because those are always our y, and then the games on the bottom. Okay, now every time I buy a game, how much? It's not 20, okay? How much does it cost every time you buy a game? What repeated cost happens every game I buy? Oh, it's the $12.99, okay? So I know that. So I know it's because it's a constant dollar amount. It's a straight line. That's what a line does. It just goes up by the same amount of steps every time. It's like a stairway. So y, x, y, and then a plus. Make sure you get that plus there. So the x needs a multiplier because every game costs $12.99. So I want to put 12.99. Now you're like, well, there's no number before it. Well, you did have to have this $20 here, so that's what we're going to put here, okay? And now I write my equation. So 20 plus 12.99x, and then y here all by itself. Okay, so I cross those two numbers I've already used out. Now I got to take the 6. It is 6 video games, okay? I'll just put VG. So what letter is the video games? Well, Y is money, so it ain't that. X is games, so that's going to go in for X. So let's go look at X. X has a number in front, so we need to use a parentheses, okay? And I insert the 6 over the X. Okay, and again, here is the letter I'm left with, the Y. All by itself, plug that into your calculator. Just circle the entire expression and plug it into your calculator. So 20 plus 12.99 times 6, parentheses 6. I got $97.94, okay? So that's my answer, 97.94. So yeah, I got a decimal, but that's okay because it's a money amount that I didn't know. I'm trying to find that. Okay, the initial fee to have a website set up using a server is $48. It costs $44 per month to maintain the website. If someone pays $312, how many months did they use the website for? So my two units are money and months. Okay, I always want the Y to be the money and then the X to be the months. So per, and we put the dollar on top and then dollars per month. And I know you've looked at this before, but you never had to do it all yourself. Well, I'm going to start. How much money is repeated every month? Well, it's 44. When it says per month, that means that's repeated every month. So that's what's called your slope, okay? So y, a plus, and then x, y. So x, given the fact that x stands for months, and every month is $44, we're going to put a 44 in front of the x. And now you need to get rid of your beginning y. Y is money, because the money you had at the beginning before the 44 is 48. Okay, so equals, I have 48. Plus 44x, because I don't know how many times that 44 is added. And then we have y. Okay, now you should go up in your problem and cross those two things out. Now that leaves me with $312. Now 312 what? 312 what? Oh, dollars. The dollars is y. Okay. So y doesn't have a number multiplied by it, so I just scribble it out and put 312. Well, then here's my x. It has a 44 in front of it, so since it's got things with it, we need to dot and circle, not just go to the we're going to use our calculator, but we can't just plug it straight across like you can when you put in for x. Okay, so we have plus 48, so I minus 48, I minus 48. So on this side, I have 44.x, and then 312 minus 48 is 264. and then I divide by 44, and that gives me the answer I'm looking for. So it's 264 divided by 44. I got 6, okay, 6 months. Okay, next problem. Recording studio charges musicians an initial fee of $50 to record an album. Studio time costs an additional $35 per hour. Find the cost of 10 hours of studio time. Okay, again, get used to using these kind of representations. So money and hours are the two units. Y should be the money, because there's a reason why, but we'll go with Y's money for now, and X is hours. So and it's dollars per hour. So my dollars per hour is going to be 35. It says $35 per hour, so that is what I put. Now I make a line representation, Y, X, and Y, because the line will take me to the equation down here. So the X, and put a plus there as always. Okay. Now the X has a multiplier of 35. That's why we determined that. And then before that we had $50. Okay. So out of here with the Y, and that's 50. Okay. Now I can write a nice equation. I started off with $50. I'm adding 35. Don't know how many times, so that's why we put the X there. And then the Y goes here because it takes me to a new cost. Okay, 10. Go cross those out. 50 and 35 got to go. I don't want to use those anymore. So 10 hours. It is 10 what? It's 10 hours. So hours is X, so this has to go in for X. And here's X here, and it has a number in front of it, so I need to separate it with a parentheses and put a 10. Okay, and then when I use a parentheses to find this Y, I can just plug this entire sentence into the calculator. It'll spit back the right answer, 50 plus 35 parentheses 10, and that is going to be 400. Okay, so this side ended up, all that math ended up at $400. Okay, last one. A dance academy charges $20 to use a facility and $25 per hour of instruction. If someone spends $145, how many hours of instruction did they take? So my units are money and hours. Okay. Okay, Y should be the money and X should be the hours. Y always needs to be the money, and then it's dollars per hour. Okay, the dollars per hour is 25. Every hour it's $25. So that's 25 is going to be the number we add repeatedly. Don't know how many times I will add it. So a plus, and then a Y, an X, and a Y. Okay, so $25 needs to be the X's multiplier. It's the slope. It's $25 per hour. The X is there because we don't know how many times we paid the 25. Now, prior to $25 per hour, we have $20. Okay. So now what I do is I write equals, and then I put 20 plus 25X. And then we're going to put Y right here. Okay, now get rid of the 20. And now we have 145. Now it's 145 what? It's $145. So dollars is the Y according to my units key. That's in for Y. Okay, so you need to put that in for Y. Well, Y has no number in front, so put 145. Well, that means I got to solve for this X, which is not isolated. It's not by itself, so I need to dot it and circle it. I need to put a plus there and minus 20 from both sides. I have 25.x here, and then 145 minus 20 is 125. And then it's time to divide. And 125 divided by 25 is 5. So X equals 5. So why don't you put that down here, 5 hours. Okay, that's really all I have to say on that today. We'll continue working on that. I hope it's been informative, and have a good weekend.